and this is my part 3. So, at the end of the day, I'm trying to think what kind of title I will call this. But at the end of the day, excuse me, like I finished saying my last part 2, I think certain Virginia people do want to see something different, something change, something unique. Me personally, it is what it is. I think a lot of people have to accept change. And I think about a lot of other countries who fight and struggle for simple things or have underneath a dictatorship for years, but they overconquer them and stuff. And I said to myself, I can see why people on the Democrat sides are having a meltdown and this, but I'm like, it's not end of the world. It's not end of the world, and people should continue to live their life. They should still live your life. Come on now. Still live your life. And we have to wait another 4 years before we vote again. I feel like Virginia is always voting, because I haven't been counting, but I feel like every day I turn around, we gotta vote. I feel like Virginia's always been voting left and right. I say, damn, are we still voting? Shit, I feel like we ain't never getting out of the damn voting poll. I say, maybe that's why half of the Virginia people didn't come out and vote, because they're like, damn, did we just vote last year and the year before that? Like, we've been voting like a motherfucker over here. Because we have been. I can't even think when we have like a space. Maybe we did have a space, but it don't feel like it, because we're like, shit, feel like every day we've been voting. Like, hell, like we the only one been doing this, been voting. But I just sit there and think it's not end of the world. And I was very disappointed about people's maturity. In the comments on YouTube, they were saying that Virginians are not smart, and they were saying that Virginia's gonna reap what they sow, and like, good Lord Jesus, people, calm down, And it's like, give these candidates a chance. Give these Republicans a chance. Because if you're not satisfied, then you can vote them out. Just like you vote the Democrats out. It's not end of the world. It's not end of the world. And for whatever reason, people think this is the end of the world when stuff like this happen, but it's not. And like I say, let's see what happens. Me, I'm always a strong believer, especially if somebody you did not want or do not like take a position or do something different. You pretty much like be mad and salty. Just like for a prime example, one of my co-workers have a new supervisor, and she doesn't like her very much, and she heard a lot of stories, and she was really upset about this new supervisor. And I said, well, give her a chance and see what she's like first. If she's still the same way what people have said, then try to work around with it. That's the same thing with politics. Like, I know that I might hear it for some of my Republicans rubbing in my face. I got one of them that keeps bringing up to people like, you voted for Joe. You voted for Joe Biden. Other people that I know who are Trump supporters always come on and tell me that they're like, you voted for Joe. You voted for Joe. It's gonna be terrible, and this and that and the third. And I just smile at them, because I'm like, it is what it is. Just like when Trump was president, I didn't go around and go after all the Trump supporters. If anything, I was very curious why they chose him. I was very curious why they chose him more than anything. But a mature, respectable adult will understand, hey, okay, let's see what can they do. Just like any other place, any job, company, or whatever, you gotta give some people a chance to see what they will do. It's only been day 2 since the actually day 3 since the election has in and happened. So I don't see a whole lot of people melt down, because I think I can't speak to all Virginians, but I think most Virginians have a clear conscience and say, hey, a loss is a loss. Let's just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And let's just see how Virginia takes its toll. You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, I'm always a strong believer, regardless of what people might say about somebody or their reputation, I think you will be the first judge to judge them on your own. My mom always tell me, look with your eyes, don't go with the horse's mouth. Because it's better to see what people actually are than hear what people, their mouth is, So, me personally, I'm okay with what's going on and stuff, because I got a life. I got things I gotta do. I have goals, I got a lot of things I have to proceed, But if people feel like, I'm talking to the Democrats people, if they feel wary about these Republicans so bad, then people need to come out and vote the next 4 years, and then also, make your community better. Governor, mayors can only do so much in a day. We only got 24 hours in a day, right? So if you're worried and concerned about certain difference or areas, then go to your community. Go to town hall meetings. Go to group people who have concern about, like the recycling or women and children abuse. You can make things better in your state. Yes, whoever takes in charge change the whole course of a state. However, it's us people. We have the power to do what we have to do to make our state better. I always say this, the politicians, they work for us. We don't work for them. You know what I'm saying? We hire them, okay? So we're the boss. And the people have to remind themselves that. I think some politicians forgot about that. We are your boss. Don't get it twisted. Because as you can see, you can be replaced or you can stay, So for the next 4 years, it's going to be very interesting which way that Virginia is going to go again. And also, hope Democrats learn that you have to talk to everybody, the swingers, the independent people, the minority people, and people who are trying to really figure out what your motives are and your agendas. You got to reach out to people who you're not comfortable with, because to quite honest, I got to be with people who I'm never comfortable with every single day. That's at work, that's in the grocery store, or somewhere else. I'm always surrounding people I'm not comfortable with. But there's 2 things I keep in mind: respect and watch what their reputation is. So I think Democrats have a lot of learning, and I think they need to really focus on a lot of their playbook and stuff. So quite honestly, I will say this to you, Democrats, don't have a big meltdown, please don't. And people who are Democrats or liberals or progressive or whoever, don't have a meltdown. Like I said before, if you're so worried about your community or the issues that is relying on you or your family or personal or even the state, you can go out there and still make a difference. Who say you had to sit back and watch these political people do the work? We can do the work. Easy peasy, okay? So, I'm, for one, just going to sit back and watch. But people say, well, Jess, you think Virginia gonna vote for blue again? The only thing I could say, if they do vote blue, if these Republican candidates are a little too extremist and a little too much, when I say too much, meaning they were going back to the 1920s. And they're using racism or gender roles and stuff like that. if it gets to that point, I can see they can be replaced. But I think people gotta understand, they're smarter than they look. Trust me, they're very good with analyzing. So we just have to see. And that's all I have to say.